Good morning. This is Keloland on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
A Sioux Falls man will remain behind bars after being given no bond as a suspect in the death of the Moody County Chief Deputy Sheriff. 40-year-old Joseph Hook is charged with first-degree murder and aggravated eluding following a pursuit that ended in the death of 51-year-old Ken Prorock of Wentworth. It happened Friday near the Coleman exit on Highway 34.
Prorock was laying out spike strips when court documents say an eyewitness saw Hook intentionally swerve and hit Prorock. That witness then attempted to give Prorock first aid until law enforcement could get there. Once officers arrived, the witness ran after Hook and held him until authorities caught up.
My heartfelt thank you to that witness. I know who you are. I appreciate what you did. I know that you wish you could have done more, but I want you to know that we all appreciate that you stopped to help.
If he's found guilty of murder, Hook could face life in prison or the death penalty. His next court hearing is set for Friday. Law enforcement agencies across South Dakota are quick to show their support whenever an officer dies in the line of duty.
The death of Prorock underscores the dangers that officers face on the job every day. Sioux Falls police say it's important not to overlook the family a fallen officer leaves behind.
People tend to look at officers as just a uniform or just a badge. That's somebody's father, that's somebody's husband, that's somebody's grandpa, that's somebody's brother. You know, it's far beyond just a uniform.
Police Chief John Toombs says South Dakota is a small enough state where even if officers didn't personally know Prorock, they knew of him. The loss of Prorock has us looking back at the last South Dakota law enforcement officers killed in the line of duty in the state.
According to the Attorney General's Office and Division of Criminal Investigation, the last officers killed in the line of duty were Nick Armstrong and James Ryan McCandless. The Rapid City police officers were shot during an August 2011 traffic stop and lost their lives.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Monk. Good morning, Scott.
All right, good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody. Another warm day today. Another day that we're starting with areas of fog, too. Eastern, southeastern Kettleland. That will go away. We'll bring some sunshine. Temperatures will warm well above average. Highs in the 40s and 50s. There may be a couple of 60s that do show up today in south central and southwestern South Dakota. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Senator John Thune sent a letter to the IRS commissioner demanding information about the possibility of IRS employees using TikTok while at work. The Internal Revenue Service Inspector General found IRS employees are using TikTok on their personal devices.
Thune is concerned this could put personal and confidential information at risk because he says the company that owns TikTok is owned by the Chinese Communist Party.
Anybody in this country who has TikTok as an app could very well be handing over their personal information to the Chinese Communist Party.
Thune wants to know if IRS employees are using TikTok on personal devices that are also used for work purposes. He demanded an answer from the IRS commissioner by this Thursday. Firefighters have an increased risk of lung cancer, and a bill going through the South Dakota state legislature is looking to protect them and their teams.
Currently, 33 states have some version of presumptive cancer coverage. Just 23 of those states cover volunteer firefighters.
Firefighters have a 9% greater chance of getting cancer than the general public and a 14% greater chance of dying from that diagnosis.
Senate Bill 114 will be in committee next week. For the second year in a row, USD will have a representative in the Super Bowl. Jack Cochran plays linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs.
He was a 3-year captain with the Yotes and graduated with the 6th most tackles in program history. The undrafted free agent registered 21 tackles this season while playing in every game.
He's a guy that earned every ounce of where he's at with his work ethic and his commitment to the game, and it's exciting to see him have the success that he's had.
Now he isn't the only familiar name on the team. Former SDSU quarterback Chris Oladokin is on the practice squad for the Chiefs. Kansas City will play the Niners on Sunday here at 5:30 on Kello TV.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at our forecast with meteorologist Brian Karstens.
All right, our weather update today, looking at those 30s this morning. Fog, as mentioned, in parts of the eastern areas of Kettleland, but for the most part, we'll get into this afternoon, and we would expect 50-degree weather. Parts of the central and south central Sioux Falls should be on the list there, very close to 50 or a little bit better than that. That's a big deal for this time of the year. Tonight, mild. The wind is also beginning to increase a little bit more from the south, except in far northern Kettleland. And there are some differences in our forecasts. Obviously, those of you today that are in an easterly wind in northern South Dakota, it's not going to be as warm. It'll be stuck in the 40s. And then we're expecting tomorrow a strengthening south wind, getting to the point where it's probably too windy. 30 to 40 probably from Yankton to Sioux City, and I would expect Sioux Falls not far from that mark, and highs in the mid to upper 50s. So an interesting way to cap off this warm spell. Then some showers possible getting into Wednesday night, and that's part of a larger system that's coming out into the plains. You can see some of that moisture increasing here, not just locally in Kettleland, but also into North Dakota, where eventually the wraparound will bring in a snow component. It will get cold enough for that in northwestern Kettleland. Even Aberdeen, I would expect some chances of snow spilling into Friday morning. Sioux Falls, at this point, we might be able to get a novelty amount of snow out of this, but it is blustery and colder. You'll be hearing talk about more 30s for highs toward the end of the week. So take it in if you like these exceptionally mild temperatures. We have a few of them on the maps today. 57 in Phillip, 56 degrees Rapid City. Even in the northeast in the middle to upper 40s. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. And as we peak here tomorrow, 57, Sioux Falls probably starting to slide here during the day on Thursday, and then even more declines Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the 30s. The Aberdeen area, you'll be prone to some rain initially Wednesday night and early Thursday, but a gradual changeover to some wet snow, and maybe enough to coat the ground white. So we'll continue to monitor that. I think there's a better cause for snow in North Dakota. And for Peary, we're also in that transition zone to some snow possibilities by Friday. And through, once we get beyond days 3 and 4, it's going to be cooler. We're not quite as warm. And we see those restrictions, too, for Rapid City, cooling down in the upper 30s to low 40s. Check out more details with your weather online at kettleland.com.